Alright everyone, back for another battle report. 2,000 points, taking on my friends the Salamanders. So, with my Tyranids, I brought a different style list. My goal was no Gribblies and no monsters. So we ended up with a huge multi-wound force. So we'll give you a look at what I brought today. I brought a Leviathan Battalion, and in that I have a Neurothrope, who has Catalyst as his power, a Tyranid Prime, who's kitted out with a Deathspitter, Lashwhip, Bonesword, a Malanthrope. The Tyranid Prime is the Warlord as well. Then I have 4 different units of Tyranid Warriors. Just trying for minimum size unit. Probably would have been smarter to bring a bigger one. But I'm just trying something fun here, just to like have warriors all over the place. We'll see what happens. Plus they're Leviathan. I guess most things are synths. But anyway, each unit's kitted out the exact same. Boneswords, Deathspitters, and Venom cannon here. Then I have 2 Lictors in the Leviathan Detachment. Today, this Death Leaper conversion will be used to represent a Red Terror, because I brought 8 Raveners with enhanced resistance instead of a Warlord trait. Then I have a Kronos attachment with a Neurothrope, 5 Hiveguard, 3 Biovores, and then 3 Warriors with... these guys they're my very old models, just to keep them around to see how my painting has come along. But they are kitted out with Scything Talons, Deathspitters, and actually a Venom cannon. And this is just representing a Deathspitter. You see Barb Strain. Oh, and I'm actually missing a Broodlord. There's also a Broodlord as well in this detachment. So 2,000 points of mid-size Tyranids.
All right, everybody, we got 2,000 points of Salamander successors. My 2 successor tactics are Warded to avoid the mortal wounds, and Hungry for Battle, giving me an extra inch for my charge rolls and also my advance rolls. Starting out my HQ slot, I have the Captain in the Terminator armor. He's got his Drake Blade for a relic. Lieutenant, he's got the Teeth of Terra for his relic, and the Primaris Librarian, who also has a relic. So I spent 2 CP on relics. The reliquary of Gathalamor. Moved into my troop choices. I have a squad of TAC Marines, who for their special weapons have the Melta, and the heavy weapon, or the special weapon is multi-Melta, heavy weapon is the Melta. Moving on, I got my intercessors. These guys are running autobolt rifles. These guys are also running autobolt rifles. They also have their auxiliary grenade launchers, 1 for each squad, so I can get that sweet distance. I also have Assault Marines, only 9 of them, because my plan is to put them in the drop pod. And I'll probably end up putting the Lieutenant in there as well, who is not a Primaris, even though the model is. In my fast attack, I have my Outriders. They are not complete because they're in the middle of being painted, but I just couldn't resist because they were close and I could get them on the table. So the Outriders. In my elites, I have the Centurion Assaults. They have the Flamers and the Centurion Assault Launchers, which gives them the mortal wounds on the charge. I have my Terminators, who are running Chain Fists. I have my Dreadnought, who is the Venerable Dreadnought, so he's got better shooting. And then my heavies, I have the Eradicators and a Predator with 4 las cannons. So, 2,000 points, Salamanders.
Here's the table we're playing on. So right off the bat, you're going to notice we've got a new mat. Very excited about this. It's our first map from Frontline Gaming. So very excited to play on it. Get the first game underway with the new scenery and the new look for the battle reports. So we are playing Vital Intelligence from the GT 2020 pack. There are a total of, I think there's 6 objectives in total, with 4, it's a diagonal deployment here, and here. And we have 1, 2, 3 in there, 4 on this side, and then 1 in each home base. So that is it for where all of the objectives are. We're gonna roll off here, find out who gets to pick the deployment. A 1. So Salamanders will have their choice of deployment. So we'll come back after deployment happens, talk about all the secondaries we have picked, and then dive into it. All right, we have deployed. So looking at the table here, I ended up on this side with Salamanders choosing that end. So looking at my deployment, I have a warrior group there. Broodlord started over on this side. Raveners with the red tear right there. Biowars at the back, holding the objective on the other side of this wall. Hiveguard tucked in there, nice and neat. Right here, whole blob of everything. 4 units of warriors. Kronos one there, but the rest are all Leviathan. Zoanthropes, Neurothrope, Kronos Neurothrope. Yeah, right there. Malanthrope. So Malanthrope with his new bubbles giving out to all the Leviathan folks right here. This side, we have attack squad poised to go ahead for that objective. In reserves, strategic reserves, has the Eradicators. Terminators are teleporting in. Drop pod has a lieutenant and the assault marines inside. 3 outriders right here. Dreadnought, intercessors, attack squad, the librarian there. Captain on that side with that intercessor unit. Over this way, heading up the spearhead on this side is the predator tank and those centurions. So some nice pockets for the drop pods to come in. Some nice little sneaky spots my lictors can zip around to. So it's going to be a great match. I'm very excited to see how this turns out. It's been an interesting time building that. Oh, and objectives. So we should probably mention that. I took Engage, Scramblers, and While We Stand. My While We Stand units are this Neurothrope, my Malanthrope, and my Broodlord. And then I also took Scramblers. Or did I say that? Yeah, I said that already. It's going over those. And then for the Salamanders, grind it down. Data Intercept, which is the mission specific. So perform an action. Get points for the number of objectives that you're forced to hold, and assassinate, right? I have so many characters, and he's going to get at least one with the red tear being shot forth. So let's find out who's going first in this battle report. A 1 again. So we talked about it before, and the consensus was whoever's going to go first is going to set the tone in this match. Drop pod will be able to zone out. Had I have gone first, the Biowars would have completely shut down, likely a flank, one side or the other. So that's it. So we'll come back after Salamanders, turn 1. Then Salamanders, turn 1 moving. So the old drop pod came this way. So grabbing that objective and having these guys come out as a wall, essentially that's either they take the brunt of the Raveners or somewhere else will that it could be more valuable. It's hard to say. These guys are slinking their way over this way to, they'll be able to, I think, hold the objective from the back. So I'll have to commit to going at them, which I don't want to. I'd rather do something about them with shooting, potentially. Over this way, these guys moved up and advanced, no problem. Getting into the middle with the captain. These guys moved over advanced to grab the objective that's just on the inside of there. Dreadnought skimmed over. Playing very slow with the Outriders. Last game he had with them, they got just dummy turn 1. It was like the first time using them, so he's making sure they stay alive. And these guys moved advanced to grab this objective. Still have a line of sight on them, but this terrain offers the dense cover, I think it is. I forget the name. The -1 hit. That's what it is, dense cover, I believe. But anyway, that's it for moving. Let's see what the psychic and shooting phase are going to pay off and get the Salamanders in a place to halt my massive multi-wound. All right, that ends Salamanders turn 1. Psychic was done, so Firestorm? Fire Shield? Drake's Skin, that's the one. So he's +1 toughness, which makes all the difference because if not, my Hiveguard probably would shoot that up like it's nothing. And then Fire Shield on these lads. That was it for Psychic. Then shooting, I lost a warrior over this side from the Predator, just absolutely zapped it with 6 wounds and took a single wound over this way. This warrior took a wound from these guys, but no, sorry, they passed all of their saves, and then they took a wound from, or no, sorry, the drop pod did a wound, and I got Leviathan over there. I was trying to remember. Anyway, the moral of the story is nobody lost anything. One of my warriors over here was just popped by the Dreadnought. And that's it. So the guys too, I don't think we mentioned it in the moving phase. They set up data intercept. So he's going to force my hand on what I have to do next turn, because you have all 4 middle objectives, correct? No, 3 of them. Don't have that one. So don't need to worry about that too. I shouldn't say don't need to worry about it, but I need to certainly be cautious of it. But that's it. So we're going to come into Tyranid's turn 1 movement and see what the table looks like afterwards. So that's the end of my movement. So Zoanthropes shifted up this way with the Neurothrope, drawing line of sight onto these guys. So there's going to be lots of smites and psychic screams coming in at them, hopefully chipping away at a good chunk of the unit. Kronos and Neurothrope just sat there to get Symbiostorm off where needed. These guys sat still so they can get their rerolls. The rest of the warriors, there's 3 units of warriors with the prime moving this way to get shots on that guy, plus still in charge distance of that squad there. Will be a hard charge if he pulls from the front. However, doing so will pull him off the objective. Over this way, the Ravagers moved up, spread out enough that they have a room to multi-charge in as needed. Red Terror and Broodlord moved up there. Nice short charge for both of them coming in at the drop pod, because if I kill the drop pod, it no longer holds that. These warriors moved up and grabbed me that objective. And Biowars moved to get, -1 hit. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, so that's it. For movement, we'll come back after Psychic and Shooting. Ends the shooting phase for the Tyranids. So Hive Guard managed to clear off the Centurions in one volley, simply just due to poor saves, unfortunately, for the Salamanders. Then blew up the drop pod with a combined smite with the Broodlord and Hive Guard taking out as well. Took out a ton of these guys, and then we remember warded. So you got back, I think, almost 3 guys with that came back. I think it was roughly 2 guys. 2 guys and 1 guy went back up to full. So that kind of stunk, but I had to do it. I had to move forward. They held an objective, so had to be done. Cleared off these guys off this objective. So as of right now, only 1 objective held by the Salamanders across the middle. The back one, obviously, is still very much alive and safe. So we'll come back after the charge. There's definitely going to be a bunch of charges going. Right, that ends Tyranid's turn 1. So over here, drop these guys down to 3.5 guys. The Raveners, not necessarily whiffed, but not having any AP on those Silent Talons does hurt. High volume attacks, but against 3-up save models, very decent saving being rolled for them. The Broodlord chopped up quite a bit, but yeah. Spend a CP to implant attack. It did not kill that guy. So unfortunate. Over this way too, that was pretty. I debated on coming in this way at the Broodlord, but then I thought, though, these are blocking anyway. So, and then down here I was going to charge, but with Born Protectors, he could do it over there. Get that some free movement for that Dreadnought. So I said, no, better not. Over this way as well, he did spend the CP to Born Protector the Lieutenant, or else he wouldn't have been able to heroically intervene. Being that at the start, there were so many guys there that he couldn't move his 3 inches to get through, to get into the 1 inch, because there was a couple lines of those guys. So that is it for turn 1 Tyranid, scoring 2 points for engage. Did not do any scrambles yet. I still have 2 Lictors coming in, so I'm not too worried about that as of this moment. But we'll see what it looks like after Salamander's turn 2. That ends Salamander's turn 2 moving. So in good position over here. The tank moved over this way. Get shots down along this edge. Being able to also target the Warriors and the Red Terror. Terminators came in here. It was, I probably could have moved them back, but having to move forward to grab that objective. There's not a lot I could do. I kind of had to accept that they're going to come in. Over this way, the Intercessors moved over. Bikes came around. Eradicators arrived over on this side. And these guys moved out, still holding the objective, but getting out of line of sight. And then these guys are back here actioning the data intercept. So as of right now, Salamander's getting hold 2 for primaries. 2 points for data intercept, and assassinate still on the table. This guy disengaged, running over this way to contest the objective right now. And then over this way, the intercessors just move forward with the librarian as well. So that's it for moving. We'll come back after Psych and Shooting. See if they can do the damage that they need to. All right, that ends Shooting for the Salamander. So Red Terror just obliterated by that Predator. Insane overkill. It was like 15 damage on him. And then over this way, these guys all fired in and killed off. I'm looking here. One warrior there, and then a warrior in the middle. So and then these guys just they didn't shoot at anything. And then these guys killed off the little spore mines. So one spore mine is still alive, but and that's because these guys perform the action. I don't know if I remember that, but yeah, they're performing the action. Eradicators also they only killed off one warrior there just due to some poor damage rolls. But now time for some charges. So we'll come back after the charging. All right, that's it for turn 2 Salamander. So my Biovores gone. These guys obviously made the charge here. Rolling a good charge range. I think it was 11 inches. Then over this way, Bikes failed their charge. However, the Dreadnought said not today. He came in with a hot 11-inch charge. Took out 2 warriors. One lived. He piled in, consolidated around this way. Did a wound, so good on him. Over this way, my Broodlord, he was within range to heroically intervene against that guy. It was either just stay there or pull back and just force my Broodlord to move in this way. So it was either way that guy was getting chopped up. It didn't really matter in the end. So I just tried to pull back a little bit. And then over this way, I killed him, but then he had a command point, reroll, saved it. So I dropped him down to 1 wound. Then he killed 2 more Raveners, leaving 1 and 1 with 1 wound. Moving over this way, not enough to get in engagement range with his tank as of right there, but still another chance to kill him. I do have a spore mine that can float in. Do some work there. So that is it for Salamander's turn 2. So killed 2 units with the Biovores and the Red Terror. So potentially grind it down, so I have to kill at least 2 units to negate that. And 2 points for data intercept, as I mentioned, and 3 for the character. So we'll come back after Tyranids turn 2 movement and see what the table looks like. Alright, that's movement done for the Tyranids. So I've moved all my psychic stuff right here. I'm going to blast them and hopefully take out most of them, ideally. The Warriors moved ahead, just screening out the Prime and the Malanthrope. The Warrior that was there left the combat and moved over this way to steal that objective. He's within range. He's right in there. So denying that where he is at troops and everyone else around there is not. Lictor came in this way. Broodlord moved in advance this way, getting ready to take those guys out and deny the data intercept. We did double check. These Raveners are in range of the tank. I forgot to mention last turn too, I tried to implant attack him and I rolled a 1. I think I can't remember if I said that. Mine move over, getting within 3 inches of him, so hopefully blow him up. We shall see. But that's it for movement. We'll come back after psychic and shooting and see if I can do what needs to be done. All right, that ends Tyranids turn 2. So kind of just stuck all the combat and the shooting all together. Oh my gosh. So the psychic literally did 2 wounds to the Terminators. It was the worst psychic base I've had in some time. So I had to use the Hive Guard to shoot at them, drop them down to 2 guys, then fired again, double tapped. He made I did 10 wounds and made 8 of the 10 saves, and then killed 1 guy and then dropped him down to 1. And then he spent 2 CB to pass. So really unfortunate for that. I guess I could have charged, but it's all right. Then over this way, mine flew in, blew up that guy. The Warriors charged in as an insurance policy. There's another one chained there, so I do hold that objective still. Broodlord mopped up these guys quite easily, then overran over there to get into a safe position. Then down this way, I charged in with the Prime and the Warriors. Actually would have had him down to, I think 2 or 1 wounds. I can't remember, but he made some of the 6-up venerable saves. That's what I'm trying to say. And the Bikes, I dropped them down, killed 1 guy, dropped them down another wound. Didn't quite have enough to take them out. My Venom cannon shooting was very poor, only getting 1 wound through with the 2 shots that I had. So, or sorry, 2 Venom cannons, but I had like 6 shots altogether. So that's it. So Tyranids having 14 points in total, got 10 for my primaries. I have 3 for my engage, and then I got my zone scrambler down. I have my Lictor in place in the other spots, and I still have all my while we stands for now. So that's it. We'll come back after Salamander's turn 3. ends Salamander's movement on turn 3. So this guy moved up. He is not failing that charge. Over this way, the bikes moved up to get ready to join the combat. These guys moved into the other side of the building, all huddling on the objective, ensuring that theirs. Captain moved and advanced over this way. Librarian moved and advanced over to the window there. All these guys moved around, ready to get shots in at the warriors with everyone who can. And the Predator still in combat there with those guys, going to blast them. And then the Eradicators moved up to hopefully take out that one warrior. So that's it. We'll come back after Psychic and Shooting. All right, that ends Salamanders turn 3. So bikes came in. I tried to finish off the Dreadnought with my warriors. The bikes didn't manage to kill the warriors. They only did, I think, 2 wounds. Then I fought back against the Dreadnought. That stinking Dreadnought, I can't get him. Dropped him down. I got 5 wounds through. He made 2 of the 4 wounds, and then got a 6 being venerable. And that's it over this way. Over here, the Hive Guard overwatched at the Terminator, got him with it, and then he failed to save, and then command pointed, and he was good. Charged in, hit him back, and then got 2 wounds through. He obviously dropped that guy down to 1 wound. Got 2 hits through and killed him, rolling 1s for the save. Then over here, the Raveners got popped by the combination of the Librarian and the Predator. Then all of these guys killed off the warriors. There's only 1 left there. He's still in range of the objective, though. So, for points for the Salamanders, having a total of none scored so far. However, Grind It Down is still on the table, having killed 3 units. So I have to kill 3 full units. Tall order, but it can be done. So we'll come back after Tyranids turn 3. So that ends Tyranids turn 3. So absolutely abysmal turn for me. Malanthrope moved back this way. Warrior moved up. I did kill the Dreadnought. All the Zoanthropes had to shift around. Then dropped. Well, actually, I would have killed these guys, but they hit the ward. It dropped them down to 1. I had to charge in to try and get the extra kill to deny his Grind It Down. Hive Guard fired in at the Eradicators. The shooting through here really hurts. The -1 to hit really killed my shooting. I lost, I think like 4 or 5 hits off of that. And then they transhuman. Then I shot at these guys with the double tap. Killed 2.5 of them. Just, again, really poor rolling there on the wounds. Almost killed the Librarian. Dropped down to 1 wound. With the Venom Cannon from him. That Lictor popped in there, got my scramble in the neutral zone, so just got to do the enemy zone. And then that is it. So, we'll come back after... Oh, sorry, and then, yeah, that's it in there. So, that is it. We'll come back after Salamander's turn 4. All right, so we called the game here. Quite a bit probably changed since you last saw it. We played out quite a bit, so we'll just start and work our way around. Actually, what the real thing that ended the game was the Brood Lord getting taken out by the Eradicators after these guys adjusted. Fired in at the Lictor, got 5 wounds through, and of course, there's no AP because he was into the assault phase. Didn't make 2 5-ups. And then the Lictor, the Brood Lord was in range of them. I meant to move him over a bit. It was a tactical error on my part, which costed me the game. So have to be more careful in positioning with characters with that. Doesn't happen. That's something I need to practice a bit more with too. It's not too often I get little characters hipping around over there. Then what happened over this way, with my Hive Guard not being able to kill off enough things in this way, the Captain came through on this side, killed off the Neurothrope. And I also didn't have my Scrambler in his zones. Probably should have did that earlier. I was really banking on the Lictor staying alive, plus having my backup Lictor. So then working our way around, what order did that happen? The tank. The tank came in, killed the warrior. Librarian came over, perilled, had to spend a CP to not die, which was huge, because if he actually didn't die, the game still could have been close. He charged in, killed the Lictor again, literally down to the exact number of wounds and failing my saves. Oh, poor Lictors. You do nothing but scramble, so I don't even know why I bothered to try and do something cool with them. But losing that objective cost me because I could not score any more primaries. It is hold 2 and hold 3. I really don't know if we actually mentioned that, but for vital intelligence it is. So, end score, the Salamander is able to cap a max point, holding that, being that there's still troops there, and actually that one. So the end result is 53 to 33. So in the end, my list didn't really, it was fun, it was entertaining, but definitely not enough hitting power. I think having the separate units of warriors, in my opinion, wasn't as good, being that you could just chew up each one, and then I don't know, I didn't like it. I've been wanting to try it for a while, and also I really should have just not let those Terminators come in right there. Just banking on not making that huge charge and shooting them, but can't always rely on that. So on the Salamander's part, well played on all fronts. The Dreadnought was a kind of a star of the show on this side of the table, I think. His ability just tanking everything and some good rolls over there. Because I think if the Dreadnought didn't hold up this group of warriors coming through. Also, too, I don't even know if we mentioned on camera, the Dreadnought overwatched and killed 2 warriors off. So there's a unit of 2 warriors there. You probably saw like there's suddenly like less warriors that charge in there. I think it was turn 2. So the Dreadnought, I think, is the star of your show. I don't know. What do you think?
Dreadnought, definitely. Terminators goes in order of like Dreadnought, Terminators, and then probably my Librarian.
Yeah, the Librarian. He came in clutch at the end. So final score, 53 to 33. And also, too, losing that Broodlord was another while we stand, we fight. So well played on the Salamander's part. Good game, interesting list, and very excited to, like we said at the start, show off this mat. So good table. We'll probably play on this one again. I actually really like the layout. Be interesting to see how the other deployment styles play on it. So stay tuned for more reports.